What is going on, everybody? Back at it again with another YouTube video. I want to say sorry for not posting yesterday. I had some issues with my computer all day long, and by the time it was fixed, it was like 1 in the morning. I was not recording at 1 in the morning and putting out a video. That just was not happening. But here I am today. Definitely going to be posting 2 videos today. Probably again on the draft and whatever, happened. I'm still iffy on the Jalen Hurts thing. It will always bother me on why the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round. I just don't. I just don't agree with it. And as an Eagles fan, I have that say. Honestly, I mean, a lot of people, some people like it, and I don't know why. Carson Wentz gets the most hate in the NFL out of any player in the league. It's just amazing to me how many people, even his own fans, dislike him. They absolutely despise him as a quarterback because of a couple injuries. He's missed 8 games in his career. He's played like 32. Okay, yes, I know. I know he has gotten injured. I understand that. I've been there. I was at the playoff game last season when Jadeveon Clowney injured him. I understand. It sucks. But injuries are a part of the game of football. You can't expect somebody to be healthy every single game all year long, whether they play or not. If you play, you could still be injured. We saw that last year with Dak. Dak, when playing at the link, there was something wrong with his hand. Amari Cooper, there was something wrong with his legs. There's just, nobody's 100% during the season. It's just not true. And when people constantly get beat up, and as a quarterback with literally no help halfway through the season last year, he had to do a lot more than expected, than wanted. You think I want Carson Wentz scrambling out of the pocket every single time? No. It's a good thing to have, don't get me wrong. It's a good thing. I like that he can do it. But I don't want him doing it as much as Lamar Jackson, as much as RG3 when he was effective. That's how players get injured. And I'm not saying Lamar's going to get injured, but I'm saying I'd rather have my quarterback be a pocket passer than an on-the-run guy every single play. And that's what happened last year. We had Alshon, who was out. We had DeSean, who was out. And you were stuck with guys like Robert Davis, Deontay Burnett, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and Greg Ward Jr. We ran the ball more times last season at the end of the year than ever before because there was nobody to throw the ball to. They couldn't get open. Arcega-Whiteside's route running was awful. He couldn't get open to save his life. And when he did, he made some good catches. I'm not going to lie. He made some very solid catches last year, especially in the Cowboys game. That one play, the very first play of the game, that his catch for 15 yards, that was a great catch. His route running, though, is awful. And we all know that. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. The new revolution of Eagles offense. Of this Eagles team's offense with Carson Wentz at the helm of the quarterback position. Because Jalen Hurts, yes, he's probably going to be used in some trickery plays and some read options and stuff like that. But that's only going to take you so far. People are going to pick up on stuff like that. You can't tell me they're not. And people that want Jalen Hurts to get used like a Taysom Hill, I don't think Jalen Hurts is built like a Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is a downward back. He can throw the ball, yeah, don't get me wrong, but he's not as good as Breeze. He'll never be as good as Breeze. He's an option guy. He's a trickery guy. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He can get you, those yards that, big third down backs fight for. He can do that. He's a big enough dude that he can go out and he can get you a couple yards in a run play, in an option play, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think Jalen Hurts is built like that. And I can't see him playing receiver. He's just not built for a receiver. I don't know how we're going to use Jalen Hurts. I'm sure we're going to have some trick plays drawn up for him specifically, And I'll be okay with it every once in a while. I don't want to see a trick play 3 times a game with Jalen Hurts lining up as quarterback. I don't want to see that. I'd rather have Carson Wentz throw the ball to one of the 6 fast guys that we have on this team now. And I'm going to read that to you right now. There is a ton of speed that was drafted in this year's draft. There is a ton of speed. You know, DeSean Jackson, Marquise Goodwin, guys that weren't drafted. They have speed. And that's going to be the new age of this offense. How did the Chiefs win the Super Bowl? How did they get there? How were they so effective? When you have speed guys on the outside, Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill, you open up the middle for guys like that come out of the backfield, like a Damian Williams. In this case, it would be Miles Sanders for us, and Zach Ertz would be the Travis Kelce in that offense. And yes, you have 2 tight ends that can do that, in Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. That's how this offense is going to be so effective. You can throw out Goddard, and people don't know if he's going to block or if he's going to go out for a pass. You just don't know. If you have Sanders or Scott in the backfield, and they can run an out route out of the backfield and cut up the field and cut up the middle, that's big. Especially when you have a guy like DeSean, Goodwin, Reagor, Hightower, and Watkins on the side. Now, I don't expect Watkins and Hightower to play the majority of the snaps. That would just be dumb. Why would I think that? But I also don't think Marquise Goodwin has a legit spot on this offense yet. He's a veteran player, and I understand that. But DeSean Jackson and Jalen Reagor, I think 100% have a starting spot week 1 of this season. I do. That's what I think. You can have a guy like John Hightower and Quez Watkins on the outside, taking those cornerbacks and taking those safeties out of the play to open up the middle of the field for Zach Ertz, for Dallas Goedert, or cutting across the middle for a Miles Sanders or Boston Scott. When you have Boston Scott as the slowest player probably in that offense, outside of the tight ends, obviously, I mean, you saw the speed, you saw the burst of agility that Boston Scott had last season. He's a smaller guy. He's a practice squad guy, but he made a job for himself. He made a name for himself. He killed the Giants twice last season. I like Boston Scott. And I am going to go over a video on the undrafted free agents. I don't know how in depth I'm going to go, but there is definitely one person I want to talk about, and I'm sure we all know who that is. But, that's probably the video I might post after this. It's either going to be that video or it's going to be something on Kevon Wallace or the linebacker that we got. I can't remember his name right now. Javion, I think. I don't know. But you guys know what I mean. I'm not making a video on Jalen Hurts again. I already did that. I'm definitely going to be putting out some videos on the later draft picks. Kevon Wallace is probably going to be my next guy that I do. And man, you will see why in that video. But back to the speed thing. I mean, this speed, we're just going to be. I just can't see us being a bad offense, no matter who's at quarterback. If you have speed guys on the outside, it just opens up so much. And we saw that from Kansas City, who won the Super Bowl last season. It opens up the field. And that's what we didn't have last season. We did not have guys that can open up the field every single play. And I'm not asking you to open up the field every single play. I'm asking you, one guy goes deep, one guy does a post, and then Ertz is just so good. Ertz is so good. He's a top 3 tight end in the league. If you throw it over the middle, he will come down with it. If it's not a suicide pass, like the pass that we saw against Dallas, he's going to come down with it. And that's what I can't wait to see. And I hope that Peterson draws up some good plays. I hope that we don't... I just hope it works. Because I don't know if it will work. But we have enough speed guys now that if DeSean Jackson goes down like he did last season, You could throw up a Marquise Goodwin. You could throw up a John Hightower. You could throw up a Quez Watkins or Jalen Reagor. Greg Ward is going to be your slot guy. I think that's going to be 100%. He's going to be the slot. But then you have 5 guys on the outside that are just rotating. You could rotate them in. That's deadly. That's deadly. Jalen Reagor, yes, I do believe that he was picked a little bit high for his draft mock or whatever you want to call it. I understand that. And I said that on draft night, that he was drafted a little bit too high at 21. You probably could have gotten him in the second round, maybe with the 53rd. But we got to live with it. At this point in time, we're going to live with it. Jalen Reagor is a first-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. There was a ton of receivers you could have picked from, even after the 3 main guys went off the board, Ruggs, Judy, and Lamb. You could have picked Jefferson. You could have picked Ayuk. You could have picked Mims. You could have picked Higgins. But we picked Jalen Reagor. Yes, he's a little smaller. I'm not going to lie. He's only 5'10", 5'11". But Tyreek Hill ain't that big himself. And that's what's going to be so deadly about this team, is the fact that we have multiple people that can run crazy fast. The amount of... You're going to see the speed demons coming out of this offense. I'm telling you, our offense is going to be insane next season. And it's going to be because of the speed demons that we now possess on this football team. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Wentz can do. You saw what he did week 1 with DeSean. 2 touchdowns, 150-something yards for DeSean. Now you add Reagor, Hightower, Goodwin, and Watkins, who are all speed guys. Things could get scary. Things could be very real for the Philadelphia Eagles next season. They could be. They really could be. With that being said, thank you all for watching. The speed demons on the Philadelphia Eagles next season are going to be absolutely insane, and I cannot wait. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're at 355 subs. Let's try to hit 360 by the end of today. Make sure you check out my last 2 videos. I'll put the links in the description and at the end of the video. You'll probably see it now. With that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace. Go Eagles.